tree yesterday that it smelled like mint. What kind of tree smells like mint when you cut it? Yeah, I remember. I have to look it up again, but I've never cut one down like that before. C-A-M-P-H-O-R, camphor tree, if that's, yeah. But it said that they're like an invasive species in East Texas here. I don't know, it might be one of the, I might have seen a bunch of them, but I've never, to my knowledge, cut one down. So that was kind of interesting. It looked like really pretty wood in there too, real hard wood. I was tempted to save a chunk just to throw on a campfire and see what it smells like, but it didn't. Alright, so I'll give you an overview here. This oak here, I'm taking limbs off that crowd this magnolia and this crepe myrtle. So some lower limbs. One of these, that little big lead over there, and some of this lower stuff's coming off. This one is just some of the stuff I'm going to get it away from these power lines, and then this big pine back here is going to get deleted. It's a beautiful day. This love the fall time. It's still kind of warm. It's probably 75-80 degrees right now, but all right, so this here's this big field. We got tons of room to lay this down. There's a water sprinkler right over here, and then there is a septic field over there and that flat ground, but that's not an issue. It got hit by lightning. I'm going to move this barrel, so we're going to drop this tree right into this way. Plenty of room on the left and right. I can angle it a little bit off to the side. Has big broken limbs in it. Lightning strike, you can tell. And looking at it from back up here, the side, it's got to lean this way anyhow. So I'm not even going to put a rope in it. If it doesn't go on its own, some wedges will make it. Okay, dokie. So right here. So this would be, I'd call this a large. Out of small, medium, large, extra large. I'd call it a large, but it's not tall. It's only 60 feet, if that, 50, 60 feet tall. It's kind of a fat, stubby thing. 28, 30 inches diameter. Not big. Yeah, but it's chunky. I'm going to get my stuff out to climb these other ones, and I'm going to probably just sling a line up there and put on the ascenders and do some SRT, so I'm not spiking all over the tree. I don't mind spiking in pines that are just trimming up because you can't tell, but these like thin bark oak stuff, and you can, looks like you hack the tree up by climbing up it with spurs. That'll work. And as always with SRT, don't cut your base tie. Okay, I think I got everything I need. gonna do these 2 leads for sure, and this one, and then we'll take a look. Thought I could get it. I want to get this lower one off. But we got to get over there somehow. Ready? What's next? In case it's not blaringly obvious, I'm not a very good SRT climber. Shoot, maybe I'm not a very good climber at all. I don't know. I have no bias. I work for myself. I'm in a vacuum. Look at that. Perfect. Forgot how short this rope was. But I had my knot in it. All right, tree 2. We're taking off this whole lead. We just want to get stuff away from the power lines. Is all we're doing here. All right, what next? All right, I think that's it for this one. I'm gonna do a little technique here. If you need to be real accurate as to when a tree falls, how far it's gonna fall, whether you got room to drop it. Well, one thing you could do is just kind of walk out and hold your hand at 45 degrees. Go get your reference. Okay, straight up, there's level, 45. And if you just keep walking back and forth until you're pointing at the top of the tree, at a 45-degree angle to the top. That's where the tips are going to land. I've got this Level app on my phone, and what you could do also, if you need to be really accurate, you could take your level. I know you probably can't see this, but you take your level, put a little stick on there, and get your eye level at where you're going to make your face cut. So you want to be level with that. So I'm going to sit down like right about here. This is about how high the face cut's going to be. And point this up till you see 45, which is right there. And then look down the stick. You just see now I'm pointing above the tree right now. So I'll move forward a little bit. So we'll go maybe a little bit like this and see what it looks like. 45. All right, look down the stick. So right here, this is where we're gonna say this tree is falling. So if you do the 45 trick, which is right, say right there, and you're pointing like there, you're above the tree. You keep walking till you hit, till you're pointing right at it, and then that's where it's gonna drop. Assuming you did that check at the level that you're cutting the stump. And if you got a downhill or uphill, you need to do that 45 off of the same level plane that you're going to make the cut. So that's a little bit downhill. What I'm doing right now is I'm being like, if you needed to be really, really accurate. So this, obviously, there's tons of room here. So this is where I just shot that 45 at. It doesn't look like a bunch. Trees fall usually a little shorter than you think, but I estimate the tips will be right here at this stick. And I'll put a stake in the ground and we'll see how good we get, and I'll try to make the trunk land right where we want to. So I've had to do this once before where I was made a video about it, where the power lines, it was so close where the tree would fit, and I measured it out like that about 100 times, and I think the video was called Measure 37 Times Cut Once. And that thing landed, I wanted it to land 10 feet from the power lines. It landed 10 feet from the power lines. The tip did. Its lean is already this way, right where we want it, but it does have significantly more limb weight on this side up towards the top. These pines, it got hit by lightning. It's dead, but the needles are still on it. These things stay strong for quite some time. I'm trusting that once I cut into there, that the actual hinge wood is going to be strong, because there's power lines right on the other side of the road. So this thing only needs to go one way, not the other way. But I think that with if it doesn't fall on its own, then with a little wedge work, it will fall. A little persuasion. So this is what I'm going to use as our marker. That's where I think the tippy tips of the branches will land, right on this. And I'm going to gun for right in the center of this too, and we'll see how it goes. Hingy wood. All right, moment of truth. Let's go see where it landed. Oh, way short. Look at that. Way short. All right, so don't ever listen to anything I say. Center of the trunk is right there. It's a good shot. These trees, they look so towering when they're standing, but they typically don't fall as far as people think they do. So what I'm saying is just cut anything, it'll fit. I started today I got here at 10:35. Started, chatted with the guy. Say 10:45 I got started. It is 2:30. 2:30, and I did those two cleanups, those trim ups there. 2:30, so 4 hours so far. And the rest of the day, I'm not gonna work too hard today. I'm gonna, I know sun's going down at like about 6 o'clock. It's dark, so let's see, 4 o'clock. Because I'm gonna come back tomorrow and finish this up. One thing I like to do when I'm doing cleanup, working hard, manual labor, physical labor, is, I guess it doesn't really matter what job it is, but it's a lot like life in a way. Massive tree, a million pine cones, limbs everywhere. It would look at first to be overwhelming. Maybe when you're younger, you need this whole life. What am I gonna do for work, career? It's overwhelming. But the only thing you know you can do is start. That's it. And I don't know, like anything, a 401k, a career, you just got to start. Nothing will happen unless you at least do that. That's all you know you can do. I like to, with stuff like this, I call it moving the goalposts, where I don't want to overwhelm myself. It's a ton. I work by myself. I got to clean everything up. So I like to start in an area, work in that area, and then move the goalposts, meaning the line of stuff that is clean and done. Every now and then, take a break and move the goalposts, which, rake up, clean up. Okay, you've seen progress. You're watching those goalposts move. And if they're moving, then they're going to end up somewhere. Almost like those goalposts are boundaries in a way. You're setting boundaries. You're moving boundaries, and you're sticking to them. I think there's a lot of relation there to things and stuff. We're going to establish some boundaries.